welcome to Speak. Now, every day is a great day to have LeSean McCoy on the show, but there is no better day than this. You all have heard the breaking news. Tom Brady, greatest football player of all time, has retired, but you haven't heard from a person that actually played with Tom Brady. Nobody on national television doing a daily show has played with Tom Brady. LeSean McCoy, you not only played with Brady, but 2 years ago, you won the Super Bowl, Tom Brady's final Super Bowl with him. I want to take a moment right now and bring the viewers into the conversation that they haven't heard all day. Tom Brady, you played with him.
That's right.
What do people at home not know about the greatest quarterback at all time that you know specifically from being on the field with that man?
Oh, so many different things. I think that the biggest thing is Tom Brady might be the biggest player we've ever seen in football. He's probably the most humble player we've ever had.
Elaborate.
Ever. For example, I remember times where we wanted to change different plays. Like, oh, let's do more runs. Let's do more short, immediate passes. And BA and Leftwich, those are coaches, they want to throw the ball deep. And I'm sitting there like, when I was on top of my game, when I was the guy in Philadelphia, I went up to the head coach's desk or door. Look, I want these plays, et cetera, et cetera. But Tom said, you know what? He said, no, what, guys? No. It was like the skill positions, wide receivers, running backs. He said, no, they're the coach, I'm the player. If that's the plays they're calling, I'm running that. And he was just so humble. I'm like, God, a guy like that who has accomplished so much in his league, won so many championships, so many Super Bowls and rings and stats, and really to be like, he's the coach, I'm the player, that just struck me in a different light. So he's one of the most humble players you ever meet.
Okay, I got this question because I was thinking in 2013, you and I were teammates before you were ever teammates with Brady, and we had the Patriots come down to Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah.
We practiced against them for a week. I remember we were in the Marriott Hotel. That was a hotel right next to the airport where we would stay at. I remember Tom Brady got into the elevator, and everybody was like, it's Tom Brady, it's Tom Brady. We practiced against them in 2013. Then in 2014, we went to Foxborough. We stayed there for a week. How did your perception of Tom Brady change from before you were his teammate to after being his teammate, taking handoffs from him, et cetera?
You know what? You always hear all the stories. Now, like a lot of the players, the good players, we all hang out. So like Gronk, even before I played with Gronk with Tampa Bay, we did commercials together, Pro Bowls, we were always hanging out. And there was this thing that like Tom was just a competitor. You know, he works extremely hard. But then to hear that and then to see it and playing with him, I'll give you a funny story, and I'll give you a serious story.
Please do.
The funny story is everyone knows that Tom Brady's not fast. That's the thing. And we would always joke with him, like, man, Tom, you look slow on tape. And he would joke, but in the back of his mind, he's like, hold up, I'm still faster than what people think. So one time, Tom Brady, he raced one of our wide receiver coaches. Now, they are kind of like similar with age. I think Tom might be a little older, but I don't want to say the wide receiver's name, our coach's name. You know, I'll keep him under wraps. But anyway, they raced. And Tom won. Tom won the race. And it was like an ongoing joke. And then the serious story with Tom Brady is the closer. Okay, so we got into the playoffs, right? And I remember Gronk said all the skill positions, the wide receivers, the running backs, tight ends. He said, listen, Tom is going to get intense. The playoffs comes, he gets more intense each week.
Yeah.
Sure enough, that Sunday, you know, they had that Friday, the coach broke everything down. We're in the playoffs. Monday came, team meeting, we're getting ready for the playoffs. And Tom stood up and talked to the whole offense. That whole week, he was so intense. He was on everybody's case. He didn't let nothing slip at all. Each week, got closer to the playoffs, close to the championship, he got more intense. I mean, cracking down on all the scout work, preparation, and practice. Guys are laughing, joking. He's calling them out. If we mess up a play in practice, we're doing it over so we all know it. I'm like, wow, that's my first time ever seeing a true leader. And that was Tom Brady.
You won Super Bowl 55 with Tom Brady. They were at Super Bowl 57, so it's been less than 2 years. I got two more questions for you off the top of my head. The first one being, you said Tom Brady sent you all text messages. The entire offense. Tom Brady's won 7 Super Bowls. Us at home, we're like, oh, wow, how's he done it? How'd he do it? But you know specifically how. What did those text messages that he would send during the playoffs, what would they read like?
Just the preparation. So now, you know, we watch tape. We're supposed to watch tape. We may watch 2-3 hours a day. And in playoffs, you might watch even more. Right? So we would watch tape, and Tom Brady would send us a text message. It would be like a group text of like 15 people, maybe 12. Running backs, wide receivers, tight ends. And he would single out every position. So let's say today was the cornerbacks, number 35. He has slow feet. He's great off the jam. He doesn't do well with back shoulder passes. You could take him deep. Every single player. And on a side chat, with all the other players like me, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Leonard Fournette, we're all joking like, yo, this guy is different. He's so locked in. So I can see why teams struggled to beat him because he's so more prepared than anybody else.
Yeah.
Think about that for a second, though. I've never seen nothing like that.
That's crazy.
In each game, it got closer to the Super Bowl, he was more and more dialed in.
Finally, I need y'all help on the fifth floor. Run the video of Shady and Tom Brady at the Super Bowl if we can. Might need you to pull back at the jib. Shady.
And by the way, I gave him the nickname 7 times. So when he was there, I called him 6 times.
Yeah.
Championships. So everybody like, what's up, 6 times? And he caught on to it. And then the last championship made him 7 times.
Now, at the Super Bowl 25, that was your second Super Bowl ring. You won one the year before with Patrick Mahomes. This moment, you're whispering sweet nothing in Tom Brady's ear. What did you say, Tom?
I said, Tommy, thanks for the ring, baby. Ring me now. Thank you, Tommy. Now, y'all ring me. That's 2 times.
That's 2 times. Okay, let's head to the desk with the other 2 and get their opinion. On our far left, it is NFL Insider. That is Dave Helman, knowing all things about football that you need to know. And this is the brilliant Joy Taylor. Joy, you have followed Tom Brady's career, the entirety of Tom Brady's career. What was your reaction to the retirement news?
Well, I can't say I was surprised because we already did that. The first retirement, actually, the first time the news came down, I was doing my radio show for Fox Sports Radio. So I was on air. You know, yesterday we had to pivot and do, a show completely that we didn't plan off of the Sean Payton and D'Amico Ryans news. Well, I was on air when this story broke. So obviously now I'm doing 2 hours of Tom Brady retirement talk.
Changed your whole day.
By myself. Yeah, but, I mourned him. I didn't know how emotional I was going to be, and I really was sad.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the greatest player that we've ever, in my opinion, the greatest football player that we've ever seen play. It's certainly the greatest winner, and I think we can all remove the argument of the greatest quarterback. We can all at least agree on that. But now today, it feels very real. I'll say that. I know everyone's speculating about, like, is it real? Is he going to come back? Like, he literally just retired this morning, so let's give it a day before we start speculating. But we're in a new era now. Now, like, I really feel old. I'm like, we are now officially in the new era of young quarterbacks. We have turned the page on a chapter in the NFL, and I think that's pretty significant because Brady has gone through so many renditions of just the sport itself. I mean, he was playing when there was a massive shift from focusing on the defense and being able to game plan to really focusing on having a high-level offense and all of the rules. Some of the rules he's responsible for changing. Yeah. So it really is the next chapter in the history of the NFL, and I think that's significant.
Dave, you've covered the sport for 10 years. You have written several articles on several athletes, but there is no athlete that demanded more articles. There is no athlete that demanded greater articles. There is no athlete that demanded and deserved more attention than Tom Brady. He announced his retirement. Your reaction?
Kind of what Joy said. I was kind of like, all right, is this for real this time, Tom? And I think you're right. I think there's finality here. But I laughed this morning when we were talking about it in our group chat because I was like, this feels awfully familiar to last February. And I love self-awareness maybe more than any character trait. I really appreciated the way Tom was like, in his own words, was like, I did the big essay last year. We don't need to do that again. So I really appreciated that. But yeah, I mean, look, we talk about it from a player's perspective, from the league's perspective, but like those of us that love and follow and get paid to talk about the league. I mean, we were kids when Tom Brady took over. And now, I mean, especially for those of us that are younger, maybe there are older people who really... No, I didn't mean you. I mean, out there.
Older person.
Shoot. I mean, there are people playing in the league. There are people covering the league that don't remember Brady's career. I think we're all fortunate that we do. Yeah. But just think about that. Like, he's always been there. And if he truly is gone, it's more than just like a changing of the guard within the NFL. It's everything about it, from the way you watch it, from the way you cover it. We'll get into more of it. I mean, everybody knows. Everybody knows what he meant, what he's accomplished. And if this really is it, it's kind of strange to think about. But I will say, until I see him not playing, I'm reserving just at least like a sliver. Like, you did this to me once, man. I don't know. We'll see.
As you should. Of all the incredibly impressive things that Tom Brady accomplished, there's one thing I heard that was most impressive, and you at home may realize that you may not have heard this yet. Tom Brady quite literally had 3 Hall of Fame careers in his 3 different decades, his 20s, his 30s, his 40s. Now, I could verbally tell you all, or I could also illustrate for you all. In Tom Brady's 20s, 147 passing touchdowns, 3 Super Bowl wins, 70 wins total. In Tom Brady's 30s, 309 passing touchdowns, 2 Super Bowl wins, 113 wins total. In Tom Brady's 40s, y'all, in his 40s, 2 Super Bowl wins, 193 passing touchdowns, and 68 wins total. Quite literally had 3 different Hall of Fame careers. Dave, I'm coming to you with this question, and I just thought of it. Once again, if y'all are not familiar with Speak, stay for a while. We have a lot of fun here. I asked Dave a bunch of random questions, and he has to answer them.
We do so much prep, and then you're like, nah.
Tom Brady, 3 different Hall of Fame careers. Which one impressed you the most? What decade? What, the 20s, the 30s, the 40s?
I would say, winning a Super Bowl in your 40s with an entirely new organization speaks for itself. But I would go with 07 to 16, his 30s, just because, not to take credit away from him, but like we know there was more to that first run than just Tom Brady. It was a loaded team, top to bottom. But then in the 30s, you saw Tom Brady come into his own, become a 50 touchdown per season type of quarterback. And it actually didn't work out right away. It was the classic case of like, oh, when you pay your quarterback too much, can you really win Super Bowls? And then they just kept winning and then reestablished themselves to have a second dynasty, like a second run of 3 Super Bowls in quick succession, having already done that when typically you're closer to the end of your career than the beginning for anybody else but Tom Brady, it would be. I just think that's so impressive. What they were able to do from 2011 until 2018, unreal.
This question is fun, so I'm going to ask it to everybody. Joy, coming to you momentarily. 2-5. Tom Brady's 20s, he wins 3 rings. His 30s, he wins 2 rings. His 40s, you get to be a part of it. You win his final ring with him. That is still crazy to say that I'm sitting next to you and you were playing with him. Which decade of his is the most, like, astonishing to you?
I'm going to go with the 40s. First of all, I'm part of that one. And then also just, he was older. Right? Older, and everybody loves to talk about the Belichick. Oh, Belichick and Tom Brady. No. It's Tom Brady and then some Belichick. Yeah. He goes to a new team, new organization, new franchise, right? And still gets it done with new players. Essentially, he was really a rookie. Think about that. I've been with a program for 20 years. Okay, you worked at Fox for 20 years. Yeah. Now you go to a whole other platform, another job, another work area. It's new for you. And for him to do the same thing he did in all the other decades and win a championship with a program, with a team that hasn't been winning, with the same players. Yep. The only difference was him. Yeah. Got to go with that decade.
Yeah, I have to go with the 40s also. I mean, we're all aging every day, every moment. His ability to stay healthy, his dedication to his body that he's even able to play at the level he was able to play is another chapter of his legacy, his ability to be available. We always say that availability is a skill. Tom Brady defined that. He actually has shown the rest of the league the blueprint for how to preserve your body, how you eat, how you train, how you stretch, how much time you put in preparation every day. Shady, you were there, you know. He has that whole model of having your own trainer to that level. Obviously, Michael Jordan had it also, but at the NFL level, it was pretty unique to see that. I mean, he was legendary for that, and it showed in his ability to play into his mid-40s and have a high level of success. So it's not like he was just out there. He's winning championships.
Yeah. I'm going to take the 20s route, and it's just personal. The reason I'll take the 20s is I know what it's like to be a 6th-round pick. Know what it's like to be a 6th-round pick. I quite literally was a 6th-round pick. 6th-round picks are not supposed to produce all that much. You're just not. You're supposed to make the team, be a backup, contribute on special teams. Tom Brady turned into the greatest player in the history of the game. We are astonished at what Drew Brees did, I believe, as a 2nd-round pick.
2nd round from Purdue.
Yeah. 2nd round, but like, that is astonishing, right? If you're the number 1 overall pick, Peyton Manning, we anticipate stuff like that. Troy Aikman, you win a whole bunch of rings. John Elway, we anticipate stuff like that. Andrew Luck, great career. But when you are a 6th-round pick, you're not supposed to be great, let alone the greatest of all time. And Tom Brady, you were just that.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.